Mari bergabung dengan Master Marine 1 juta video dunia maritim untuk mengenal dunia maritim. Jangan lupa subscribe karena subscribe itu gratis.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's wait for some time till our viewers join this IGTV live session. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kosakata and I'm pursuing BSc Nautical Science, currently hosting Maritime Universe from Instagram handle. And on behalf of Maritime Universe, I welcome you all. And today we are having a special guest, Captain Shelley, who happens to be a yacht captain. We all are very familiar with the captainship and different kinds of ship, like container ship or oil and tanker, chemical and other stuff, but we are not very much familiar with captainship and yacht industry. So let us talk to Captain Shelley and let us know more about yacht captainship.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm sorry for the time zone differences, but good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
And it's an honor to have you here. And on behalf of Maritime Universe, I welcome you on board. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well. Thank you. It's Sunday here. Good morning. And yeah, going back to work tomorrow.
Okay. So how is the weather there? Is it pleasant?
Yeah, I'm in Florida, in South Florida, so it's pretty now. But it's been good to us so far.
So, ma'am, I'm having certain set of questions that me and on behalf of Maritime Universe are going to ask you. I won't take a long time for you. So, my first question is that, can you please tell us about your journey from cadet to captainship?
Sure. So I started when I was 20 years old, and I started as a deckhand. I South Africa with a master certificate, and I joined the industry in not too sure about the yacht industry. I didn't really know much about it, but I knew that if I could work, earn money, and study part-time and to become a captain, and that's what I did. I just started from my hand, and a lot of it's just cleaning. Beginning, your first couple of years spent cleaning so much the bridge, you don't have that yet. And I was lucky to work under captains, great mentors. So they all guided me and told me you should be doing. And I just kept my head down and kept working. I didn't really take a break. And then I finally sat my OW, my Officer of the Watch, and then I went on to my Master 500 and my Master 3000.
Excuse me, ma'am. Your voice is not clear. Can you please reconnect? Your voice is not clear. Am I audible to you?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Your voice is lagging, I guess. So, yeah, continue.
So, yeah, I just went to school and worked until I reached my Master 3000.
Wow. So who inspired you, ma'am, to join this seafaring business? Who was your inspiration?
I meet a lot of people every day that inspire me. Definitely the captains that I did work for. I was really lucky to work for strong captains. I didn't work for one captain that I never liked or never admired. So working under captains like that just makes you want to do better and wants you to be like them. But definitely with my family, they encouraged me, from when I left home. And especially now with all the women trying to break into the industry, I feel even more inspired because they look up to people like myself. So it gives you something to strive for.
That's nice. Have you faced any kind of difficulty or lack of acceptance when you were joining this industry?
Lucky enough, when I joined, the industry was a bit different. It's not so big as what it is now. in the beginning, I did battle a little bit for my first break, for someone to trust me, to give me that opportunity. But other than that, I never really had discrimination, but I always made sure that I didn't allow them to have space to discriminate me. I always made sure, I could lift what the boys were lifting, I could do what the boys were doing. I remember as a deckhand, I worked on this charter boat called Blind Date, and I remember on my breaks I would sit in the bridge just to try and learn from the captain where the first mate would be sleeping. So just small things like that put me aside and didn't allow people to really discriminate me.
You are very lucky enough, ma'am, to face those kind of strong people in your life. My third question is that tell us about your job profile as a yacht captain, because we are not very much familiar with the yachts. We are familiar with the bulk carriers and the container ships, but captainship in the yacht, we are not very familiar with it. Can you please tell us about your job profile?
Sure. Well, the yachting industry is not so business orientated as the containers. There's a whole another job title that goes with the captain, and personal skills and people management is a huge requirement. You're dealing with a lot of personalities, and you almost become like a psychiatrist and a mother at the same time, yet you have to maintain your professionalism and your rank as captain. So driving the boat is actually the easiest part of the job, and putting together the itineraries and making sure that you're doing all what is required by Marshall Island or class society. That's the easy part of the job. That's just you can do that with your eyes closed. The difficult part of the job is there's so much personal interaction, and it'll fail you as a captain if you cannot control the environment on board. And unfortunately, there's a lot of personalities on board, and it's your job to control that. And that's the hardest part of being a yacht captain, because it doesn't come in the description as captain or any business title description.
Okay, madam. Have you came across any celebrity guest on board? And how was your experience?
I have not major celebrities, but I have had some high clientele on board and a few celebrities that aren't, international, and they were lovely. Like I say, I am one of the luckiest people in the industry because I've never had ugly guests on board, and I've never worked for ugly people. But there are some horror stories. It makes you want to cringe and just close your eyes. But luckily for me, I've never experienced that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. On technical point of view, how is the general day as a yacht captain, and what are the responsibility of a yacht captain?
So just as any other captain, commercial, offshore, or yachting, you are responsible for the safety of the vessel, the crew, and the passengers at all times. You are responsible for everything. Every department, your head is on the block at all times. So that doesn't change. The only difference is in the yachting industry, depending on the size of the vessel, will depend on the different caliber of captains you might get. And unfortunately, some captains aren't aware of the depth of responsibility they hold. So it's really great to come across good captains. But the responsibility is exactly the same. However, taking care of the crew, I would escalate that a bit and highlight that, because it's a lot more in depth than just on a commercial vessel. You're not just a number. You have to take care of their personalities. You have to take care of them as individuals. So that's mainly the only difference.
Okay. Ma'am, how you will encourage young female seafarer? Because in cruise line also we have seen women are there, but in the entertainment sector, not in the engine side or in the technicality stuff. So how we can bridge the gap between the gender equality in the shipping business? Because we are only having 2% of women seafarers globally working in maritime transport sector.
Absolutely, that's a really good question, and I'll get asked that quite often, and I always reply with, never let anyone see a weakness in you, because you're a woman. They will exploit that weakness, and it's sad to say, but that's the truth. And if someone asks you a question, and I've been told this before, make sure you know that answer. And that's what I've done, and that's what I always encourage everyone, male or female. If you're going to choose a sector in your career, make sure you know everything about that sector and research and educate yourself. That's what puts you aside from everyone. So as a woman, some women are naturally smaller and naturally weaker. It's a fact. So work on that. That is a factor. Strength is a factor, and knowledge is power. So if you can get those two together, woman or male, doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I agree on your point. It's just a matter of perspective because it doesn't require a lot of physicality work as people portray. Do you agree or no? Yeah.
I agree to some extent, especially if you're starting from junior ranks. It does get tougher out on deck. I mean, if I go help now on deck, I can feel it. I'm out of shape outside. So you have to have some form of fitness. You can't just get off the couch and go work on the deck.
Yeah.
So I always encourage whoever works on the deck team, stay fit, stay healthy. You're lifting heavy things. You're dealing with, you're always moving.
So, ma'am, okay. That's nice, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to ask that yacht life is very luxurious life. So, but mostly coastal. So, have you ever encountered any difficulties or accident-prone related stuff or weather encounter?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask that yacht life is luxurious, but mostly it is like confined to coastal areas only. Have you ever faced any situation regarding weather or any accident-related issue, especially during high tide sailing?
Yeah. Again, luckily for me, I haven't been involved in life or death matters or huge, tragic events. I have been, we do sail offshore. It's not only coastal, especially for the bigger yachts. From the 45-meter upward range, we cross the Atlantics, we go, worldwide cruising. But, we train so much, and the ISM has been drilled into us. And so I don't really hear a lot of tragic events happening. It is luxurious in the sense of your cabins are very nice. You get a chef that cooks food for you. You get spoiled. And some crew take that for granted. And believe me, they should not, because it's a very luxurious life. But it's just all about being humble and understanding, it's not yours. So don't try to live that lifestyle. But definitely, with my crew, I never let them feel that illusion that they're living this luxurious life. There's a strict budget in place. You can't be drinking Red Bulls and whatever Coca-Cola you want. And when we do go offshore, I treat it like a, offshore vessel. This is serious. You're dealing with the ocean, and there's a lot of factors that could go wrong and could go wrong very fast. So my crew are always training, and we've been in tight situations, and because of my crew, we get out of them. So I guess it just boils down to the type of leadership we have on board.
Yeah, you need to be very conscious enough because the yacht are like millions and billions. They cost a lot, like $400 million. So I want to ask you, ma'am, that are you into fitness and marathon? A personal question. Because of your Instagram handle, I can see. So what kind of fitness do you experience? Can you tell us about?
My running has always been a constant fitness in my life, consistency. But I do weight training, triathlons, and I ride motocross bikes. I think I stay fit and healthy just for my mental sanity. It definitely helps me with work, and I'm a strong believer of healthy mind, healthy life. So I encourage fitness with everyone.
What is the favorite, means one of the most memorable experience that you have on as a yacht captain that made you feel like you were very proud of yourself?
This is a bit cliche, but I have lots of those moments, and it changes as the years go. When I was a young captain, I'd be so proud because I docked the boat so well and silly things like that. And now I'm a bit older in my years of being captain, and I get very, very proud when I see my crew doing well, and I see my crew getting happy because of their achievements. And I know in my heart, I've helped them, I've led them, I've got them there. Just recently, my whole deck team, they all passed their 200-ton license, and I was helping them at night time. Well, I wasn't too sure if it was helping. Maybe I was being more sergeant. But, it's such a lovely feeling to know that you inspire and impact people's lives. And I think when I step down from captain one day, that's what I will miss the most.
That's good, ma'am. One personal question: how do you manage your personal and professional life? Do you feel difficulty in it?
Right now, I've found a balance. It was a rough path to find that balance, because I'm sure all captains, to become a captain, you have a very distinct type of character, and you zone in. You take your responsibility really seriously, as one should. So I did battle in the beginning. Everything was about being the best captain and about, just being the best. But I also sacrificed a lot, and I lost a lot. So it just comes with time and experience. I still battle to manage my personal life. Sometimes I can feel when my work is taking control. I can feel it. And then I just step back and go to a spinning class or go for a run and try to go back to the drawing board and see where I've gone wrong.
That's good, ma'am. Ma'am, what kind of multifarious safety measures that are practiced on yacht? Safety measures.
So on yachts, the safety measures on board are really high, especially if you're over 500 gross tons, because then you full ISM. And also, you don't know what clientele you're working for, so the security and confidentiality level can be heightened. So there's huge safety measures taken in place in every department. With commercial ships, they're very strict. Those are the rules. With yachts, sometimes there's too many rules, and you think, really, am I really doing this? But unfortunately, you have to. And just like commercial vessels, we follow the MLC, we follow ISM. So everything's the same. It's just, I feel maybe on the yachting industry, it's got a bit more powder all over it, it looks a little bit better, but it's the same concept.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, I want to ask you about yacht chartering business. Can you put some light on what is yacht chartering business and things like that?
So the yacht chartering business is really great, really fun, and a lot of hard work. So the concept of, you have one person that owns the boat, or numerous, and they have a charter manager that manages it. And that's their job to and find the clientele that want to hire your boat for a certain amount of time, obviously at a high rate, of course. And then some boats are chartering the seasons back to back. Some of them have a 24-hour turnaround. Luckily, I'm not on such a busy charter boat. We've got 2 charters coming up this month in March, and the guests are there for a short time, so the crew put 100% in, or 150% in, and it is busy. You are entertaining these people, and you're giving them a 5-star service for what they're paying. So when they get on that boat, they expect service at all times, entertainment at all times, and there's not a singer that's providing that entertainment. You have to provide that entertainment. It's fun, but it's a lot of hard work. You do earn a lot of money from charter yachts, but it's a lot of hard work.
Thanks for telling us, ma'am. So we have a very bright future in yacht chartering business. If anyone wants to pursue.
Even with COVID, Bahamas is full. The charter, there has been a lot of cancellation, don't get me wrong, but the charter business is still thriving. It's still happening. There's just a lot more safety measures involved now.
Okay, ma'am. I want to ask you about the future of yacht, because we are having different kinds of machineries, best engineering and designs. For example, Tesla of the Sea that Elon Musk has just launched, and also A+ Topaz, luxurious yacht. Do you want to work on that kind of yacht, especially the Flying Fox by Jeff Bezos?
I definitely would. I mean, I'm not against it. It's not my driving force. You know, everyone always wants to better themselves and get bigger. As for the yachting industry, I really love how it's moving towards helping the planet. You know, you have Rev Ocean, and you have a lot of yachts now, like they, you know, converting their yachts into these laboratories on water and exploration vessels that are doing good for the country, for the universe. So I like that the yachting sector is taking that branch off, not based on pure entertainment. It is crazy, the size of the vessel. It's really crazy. And I think I would like to be part of that, you know, a new generation of the yachting industry. You got to move with the times.
Yeah, having all kinds of luxurious amenities like helipad and bulletproof glasses and not all.
Unfortunately, that's what our life has come to.
Okay, ma'am. Would you like to say some message to our viewers? Meanwhile, I take some questions from the viewers.
Sure. I mean, if they want to become captain, you know, they just know they got to work hard and sacrifice a lot, but it's worth it in the long run. But if anyone has questions, I'll gladly answer them.
Okay, ma'am. Can you please give a big shout out to Captain Vijay and Captain Chaudhary, sir? They were also having certain kinds of questions. On behalf of them, I'm presenting you. Big shout out to Captain Vijay, Captain Chaudhary, and Captain Sims.
Oh, great. Are they commercial captains or yachting captains?
They are captains in different respective field, bulk and chemical tankers.
Okay. I see a question here. What kind of contracts do they sign on board? And
yeah,
they MLC contracts, seafarers employment agreements, and then you have your flag state. You'll have a crew agreement according to your flag state. But they're all MLC compliant.
Okay, ma'am. One last question. What is your favorite traveling destination?
My traveling, my house, my home.
Okay. Would you like to share some experience?
You know, I've got so many experiences. You know, it would be so hard just to pick one, but you know, traveling, I've seen beautiful places. I love the Bahamas. The Bahamas is one of my favorite cruising grounds. It's absolutely breathtaking. You got pigs that are swimming in the water with you. It's crazy. I do love the Bahamas.
I have seen your Instagram handle. I'm very much very fascinated by your travel diaries. So, and you're very pretty, ma'am, also.
Oh, thank you.
So, any last message to the viewers? We are ending the session. To the aspiring seafarers, young cadet, your advice to them, a piece of advice to them for aspiring seafarers.
If that's their goal, they must do it. You know, follow their heart. Just know that it's a lonely road out there working at sea. So you really got to be passionate about it, and you really got to love it, and be okay with being alone with yourself. I think, you know, that's what also makes a huge difference in the people that succeed. Don't take things personally and just keep striving.
With the unflinching determination, I would say.
Absolutely.
Sorry for taking your time and having a number of list of questions, but we are having only 2 questions left. Has COVID lockdown affected the yacht business? From Captain Vijay.
It has in a certain aspect. I know the Mediterranean got hit hard. We haven't, you know, we've carried on with our charters. We have had charters. It's just that our itineraries have changed. As far as, you know, different protocols, yes, absolutely. You know, we've got a whole booklet of extra protocols now due to COVID. But the industry is still ticking, and, you know, charters are still being sold, and people are still making money.
Okay, and last question, very personal question, that do you face any emotional instability while on board, or do you miss such kinds of things on an emotional perspective?
Sorry, can you just rephrase that question or re-ask it?
Do you encounter any emotional instability on board?
With myself or with others?
With yourself also. At certain times, you are not very comfortable with certain kind of people also.
Mm-hmm. When I was younger, absolutely. You know, when you're younger, you're not as hard. and you don't understand the situation as from a mature point of view, and it's very difficult to train your mind to block out certain emotions and not take things personally. So when I was younger, absolutely, I would find myself getting very sad and lonely often. As a captain, I read a lot of self-help books as emotional intelligence, a lot of leadership books that help me maintain that even keel, because it's important. You've got all this crew underneath you. They can't see you having a little dip, They need to see a consistency and a constant emotion. So, and just judging off what a lot of my crew have said, at work, they all think I'm just perfect, which I'm not. But I'm human. Everyone's human. So when you come home, of course, you've got a lot of emotion that you're carrying on your back. So I do have some emotional breakdowns, I guess. But luckily, I've got a great support group. I've got strong leaders around me. I've got a lot of people that I can just explain what's happened in my day. And that's also why I believe in fitness, because exercising really helps.
Okay, ma'am. One more. Do you get to choose your crew?
It changes from vessel to vessel, but in my whole career, I have gotten to choose my crew, yes. And I think that's very important that the captain gets to choose his crew, because you are the one that's working with that crew and you're the one managing everyone on board.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for answering all of my questions, ma'am. I hope I didn't. Yeah. Okay, ma'am. So thank you for having a conversation with us and putting a light on the yacht business.
Absolutely. I wish everyone the best of luck, and if they join the industry, I'm sure they'll be successful.
And you're really an inspirational to all the seafarers, especially women seafarers. They can look up to someone who is actually the captainship of a yacht.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.